Guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about leadership in gaming. Okay. Today I want to first start out with what somebody said to me a long time ago, and I consider this to be the greatest compliment I have ever received. And that was actually when I started my whole leadership in gaming. When I was playing World of Warcraft back in the heyday, back in when I was 16 years old or 17 years old. I had somebody come up to me and who was in my guild, and he said that, I know the quote goes, leaders aren't born, they're created, or they're made into leaders, they're experiences. And he said, but you were born a leader. And I'll never forget what he said. I appreciate that, and it's just a little thing I want to say to start this off. And that's how important that you know that you made an impact on somebody, even if it was just one person, that you were a good leader to them. So that really means a lot to me. I really enjoy talking about leadership anywhere in your careers, but more specifically what we're doing now today is we're talking about in gaming. So let's get right into it. As far as when you start out with gaming, how do you know you're a leader? Well, let's talk about that. So, a lot of people who don't know they are leaders, they find out through gaming. They find out through their just everyday gaming, and it could be first-person shooters. It can be RPGs, MMOs, yada yada, RTS. For example, well, how can I be a leader in a first-person shooter? And I want to give you an example. One of my buddies from work, he looked me straight in the eye one day. He said, "Listen, I don't believe I have any leadership qualities about me at all." And I said, I fired right back at him. I said, "What are you talking about? When we play Apex Legends together, not only are you carrying me through the game, but you're spouting out orders left and right. What's going on? Where are these guys? Where are they shooting from? Are they flanking us? Let's flank them." So you have these qualities about you. You communicated with me to victory. You're leading a squad to, winning the game through communication and strategy. So you have those qualities within you, and we're going to be talking a lot about transferring those gaming qualities, those leadership gaming qualities, and how to figure out how to transfer them to maybe your job or career in real life, your family. Just talking to people. Well, let's go into RPGs too. We'll go back to WoW. I played a lot of WoW. I played a lot even Diablo. When Diablo 2 didn't have an actual. We had clans in Diablo 2, but we didn't have any utility from Blizzard to structure them more. So we had to figure out how to do that on our own. Until Diablo 3, of course, came about, where it was a lot easier for guilds or clans to be structured. But I have more experience of WoW, so we're going to talk about that. As far as creating a guild in WoW, you have to start out a foundation. You have to start with yourself, okay? If you want, like the quote says, if you build it, they will come, right? So that's what I did back in the heyday of WoW. I started, 10 people signed the old guild signature. 10 gold, I think it was back in the day, to create something. And we started our own guild, our own little community, online community. And it depends on what you want to do. Okay, so what is your vision as a leader? What do you want to do with this community, this guild? Do you want a PvP, player versus player? Do you want a PvE, player versus environment, raid, things like that? So, and how hardcore do you want to be? How involved, how much time do you want to put in the game? Do you want to be the best of the best? Well, you got to put in that time. You got to treat it almost like a job. And that's where it gets a little, you have to, that work-life balance has to come into play with being a leader. When we talk about leadership, we talk about sacrifice as well. You have to be prepared to sacrifice things if you want to find success. Let's talk about the preparations for the real world. A lot of people, going back to our first topic, find out they're leaders through just playing games. What's your interaction? What's your communication? What's your strategy? And are you spouting those out? Are you formulating those? If you are, you might be a leader and you don't know it. You're just acting on it. And you might be somebody who can be qualified as a good leader, could be a bad leader. You have to be able to understand and learn from your mistakes that you make. If you don't, then we can continue to be a bad leader, maybe not be a leader at all because of the mistakes you keep making. People aren't going to believe in you. People aren't going to share your vision. So a lot of people ask me, can I put this on my resume? Whew, that's an incredibly difficult question to answer, because you have people who are from the older generation who don't understand this, and rightfully so. Okay, they don't understand it. They weren't involved in gaming. They were playing outside a lot. They didn't have all this technology that we have today. Maybe you go on Generation X, maybe they a little bit more understanding. Millennials, much more understanding. We grew up with games. We grew up with more shows that were on TV, and it was more creativity involved, imagination. It expanded our imaginations. We might be more accepted of something like, if I see that somebody led a 500-person guild and put so much time and effort and was successful with it, I might be like, wow, yeah, believe me, I can relate. That was a lot of work. And I might look at this guy even further. But somebody on who's the older generation, I don't understand this. This is a guy putting a game on here, and that's kind of laughable. Just different perspectives. So you're as far as putting on a resume, you're taking a gamble. You're absolutely taking a gamble. Try to word it maybe in a more general wording as far as your experience with online leadership in the gaming world. So let's move on. How hard is it? How hard is it to be a leader in gaming? It's difficult. It's very difficult. If you were a manager, McDonald's or the Bonton, JCPenney, I don't know, wherever, you have to deal with a lot of different people, a lot of different opinions going out there, attitudes, personalities. Some do not mix and match at all, and they're going to go to you. They're going to go to the person who's in charge to sort this out, and there's going to be a lot of headaches, a lot of stress, and you have to take on a lot of responsibility for being a leader. So if that's not something that is going to work out, are you going to be able, is being a leader for you? And if you can't handle that, there's nothing wrong with, hey, I don't want any part of being any kind of leadership stuff. No, thank you. That's not for you. That is fine. That is okay. You go your own route. You do what you want to do. But as far as people that are interested in this type of stuff, those things are coming and will not stop. You might have your days stress-free once in a while, but you have to be the type of person who can handle this type of stuff. And if you can't handle it, I would highly recommend going down a different route. So I really enjoy leadership. I think it's so essential to creating a team of individuals who share your vision, who share your goals, and tackling and creating this unstoppable force and succeeding in anything we do together. I firmly believe that. And that's what I would like to accomplish. And I hope from what you've seen in this video, it will give you more insight of what you want to accomplish in gaming or the realities of the world. So I personally would like to make more of these videos, more like maybe like a series of leadership, how to become a leader, how to be a better leader in gaming, So, and I'll probably take a game like Apex. I'll bring one of my buddies here and have him explain how he communicates, when's the right time to communicate. For an FPS shooter, how do you become a leader through a first-person shooter? And then of course, I would want to make a video about how to become a leader in more of a structural based community like World of Warcraft, Diablo, things like that. So once again, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.